Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mafex Batman Hush Huntress figure. I ordered this figure from AmiAmi.com. If you're ordering your Mafex figures from Big Bad Toy Store or some of those American sites, you're probably paying way too much. I'll put a link to AmiAmi in the description below. Order the figures from there, they're cheaper and faster. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, Huntress, Batman Hush version, Mafex, Medicom Toys, DC, Batman Hush, and here's Huntress in the package. Looks like she has a staff, alternate head, and I'm sure a bunch of other stuff. One side, Batman Hush. Other side, Batman Hush, Huntress standing there, Mafex. This is the 170th figure in the Mafex line. On the back side, here's Huntress with a bunch of different display options. The figure looks fantastic so far. And at the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is her barcode, in case that happens to help anybody. So with no further ado, let's open her up. And I did get two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. Alright, now that we have this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She comes with 8 alternate hands, totaling 10 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, a staff, and a display stand. Before I look at her accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Huntress, specifically from the Batman storyline Hush. In that storyline, she saved Batman near the beginning after Hush shot him down and he was severely injured. A bunch of thugs went to kill Batman, and she was the first one of the Bat family to respond. Her real name is Helena Bertinelli. She's the daughter of a mobster, and that led her to become a vigilante. I've always been kind of intrigued by her. When Batman just had Robin, they slowly expanded the Bat family, Nightwing, Batgirl, etc. I remember Huntress came out, her and Spoiler. I don't know, the two of them just always intrigued me over the years. Really happy to add a great 6-inch scale Huntress to the mix. So let's take a look at her. Starting with her face here, she's got that large mask sticking up at the top. Little sort of moon-looking clasps on her cape. Cape is a bendy wire. It's purple, white trim. Looks pretty good. I'll bunch up at the bottom right now. Kind of got a little utility belt, some pouches. Sort of pouch on her thigh. Looks like we're going to have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, done that Mezco style. She looks pretty good. A little bit thin. Of course, we've got a lot of flesh exposed. She was always one of those sort of sexy heroines, rather. And just a closer look at her face and head sculpt. I think it looks pretty good. And here's the figure, broken down as far as you can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now let's check out her accessories. And there's one notable omission. That's her crossbow. Typically, Huntress has the staff and the crossbow as their signature weapons, but Warner Brothers has a no-gun mandate. Any officially licensed DC figures cannot come with guns in any way, shape, or form, and a crossbow probably is close enough to a gun for them not to allow it, which is dumb and annoying. Luckily, I do have a crossbow from a previous Huntress figure. We'll try that out. So, let's start off by looking at the display stand. So here's our display stand. There are a total of 6 different pieces. Here are the main 3 parts of the display stand. When put together, it's going to look like this. We have the large base with 3 different holes for the post. The post itself can rotate at the bottom. It's hinged on the bottom, hinged in the middle, hinged at the top. There's rotation at the top, and a clamp to hold your figure. Now let's look at her hands. She has a total of 10 of them, 5 left hands and 5 right hands. Here she is with her first pair of hands. These are her fists. Then, with her second pair of hands, this is a pair of gripping hands for her staff. Then, with another pair of gripping hands with some trigger fingers for the crossbow that she does not come with. Here she is with some completely open hands with the fingers extended. And here she is with her final hands. These are some normal hands. They would look good relaxed at her sides. One thing I'm going to put in about her hands, it seems like the wrist peg is maybe just a tiny bit too small for them. They come out far too easily. Now let's look at her heads. She has 2 of them. One has a normal standard expression and the hair going down, and one has an angry expression, hair going to the side. more of an action head. Here's her first head. It has a normal expression and the hair flowing down. And here's her second head. She has angry expression, teeth exposed, hair flowing to her right. This is like when she's in combat. Now let's look at her staff. It's pure white. It does have 2 notches, one at the bottom, one near the top. Pretty bland overall. Here she is, holding her staff. She can hold it with either one hand or with 2. Now I mentioned, not coming with a crossbow. This is a crossbow that came with a previous Huntress figure. Which one? I couldn't tell without looking it up. It's all silver, which, could be a little bit better. More paint job. The handle looks pretty thick. I'm concerned it's not going to work on this Huntress figure. And you know what? It fits perfect. Here's Huntress holding and pointing that crossbow. Surprised how well it works with her gripping hand. Here's Huntress holding her bow and her staff at the same time. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories. Now let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her head, staying about 6.2 inches tall, which can translate to under 16 centimeters. I do wish she was just a little bit taller. We'll see how she fits in with the rest of my Mafex figures shortly though. Now for articulation. Starting with her head. Can rotate from side to side. The hair does obstruct that quite a bit. Forward and back, not too much. The figure almost feels like she's looking down all the time. You just can't really get it to look up at all. So you can't have her sort of crouching and then looking forward toward you properly. I don't know, just slightly disappointed with the articulation of the neck. Shoulders, ball joint, but I'm not getting them to go up very high. I don't know. I don't really want to push it. It's going, that's it, less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. She does have sort of butterfly joint here, allowing forward and back motion. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbow, but they barely get more than 90-degree bend. Her wrist can rotate, and it's hinged. Ball joint in her torso, rotate around, but barely. Forward and back, a decent amount. That'll help getting her looking up a little bit. Another ball joint in her waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion there. That should really help with some of the posing. Legs, completely the splits. Ball joints. She can rotate at the ball joint, but she also has a thigh cut here. Double jointed knees, they go all the way in. Then her ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt, rock. And, of course, toe articulation. Here's Batman chasing Catwoman on a rooftop of Gotham. Catwoman just stole a duffel bag full of money that Croc had just got from ransom. Batman's disappointed as he thought she turned a new leaf, but Catwoman is still the thief he knew. Catwoman uses her whip, gets to the next rooftop. Batman uses his grapple to chase after Catwoman, playing their typical cat and mouse game. On another rooftop across the way, Hush is sniping and shoots Batman's rope. Hits his grapple, and he goes right down to the ground. Batman falls into an alleyway. He's conscious, but can't move. He's hurt really bad. A bunch of street thugs see Batman on the ground. They think this is their opportunity. They take advantage and decide to rid Gotham City of the Batman. Oracle is alerted that Batman's life signs are low. She's aware of what's going on, but can't really do too much to help personally. She calls on the rest of the Bat family, but none of the usual sidekicks are nearby. Huntress responds to the call. Huntress lands between Batman's immobile body and the street thugs. She's going to protect him. Huntress makes short work of them and defends Batman until more help arrives. Now let's check her out. Next to some of their action figures. Starting off with some of their Huntress figures. Here she is, next to the DC Direct Hush Huntress figure. You know, they're almost the same size. And here, with all of my DC Direct Huntress figures, there's a Silver Age version that I don't have. Then, next to the Mattel DC Universe Classics Signature Collection Huntress, and that has been my favorite Huntress for a long time. Mafex one definitely looks better, and needs more time to decide. I mean, Mafex is obviously the better figure, but I'm probably still going to have the Mattel one as my sort of go-to Huntress. But I'm going to admit, the Mafex one is going to be my favorite. And now, next to a couple of older Kenner Total Justice Huntress figures. And here are absolutely all of my Huntress action figures. Always a character I was sort of intrigued with. One of those a little bit more obscure members of the Bat family. Now let's turn around. Next to some other Mafex Batman Hush figures. Here she is, next to the Hush Batman. And here she is, next to Hush himself. Then, next to the Hush Catwoman. And now, with the Hush Superman. Here's Huntress, next to Mafex's Hush Joker and Harley Quinn. So far, Mafex's Hush line has given us a good amount of female characters, and we still have Poison Ivy upcoming. Here's the entire Mafex Batman Hush collection. Nightwing should be coming out literally any day now, the next few weeks, and then we know we have Poison Ivy upcoming. I can't actually think of any other Mafex Hush figures they've announced, but I do hope they're going to give us a Tim Drake Robin. Now let's check her out. Next to some other Mafex figures. Here she is, next to some Dark Knight Trilogy Mafex figures. And here she is, next to some DC Cinematic Universe Mafex figures. Then, next to some Mafex Dark Knight Returns figures. And now, next to some Mafex Batman animated stuff. And here she is, next to several more Mafex figures from different various lines. Now let's check her out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can just see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a Mafex figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my larger. Here she is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And here she is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Then, next to a jar of peanut butter. And here she is, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here she is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here she is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here she is, with some McFarlane toys. Then, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Overall, this Huntress is a very nice action figure. She might be the best female figure that I have from Mafex. I mean, the Harley Quinn is nice, the Catwoman's nice. In fact, the Dark Knight Rises 2.0 Catwoman is pretty nice too. But I think Huntress might be my favorite of them. So, as a whole, 2 thumbs up. Her accessories are good. She just really needs a crossbow, but at least she has the hands to hold one if you can provide your own. Her articulation, it's a little bit limited in a couple of areas, but it gets all the poses I want out of her. Cape is fantastic. Sculpt and paint job, excellent. If I were to rate this figure, I think I'm going to give her an 8 out of 10. Very pleased. It's more obscure, not exactly obscure member of the Bat family, but a lot lesser known than Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl type characters. I'm a big fan of Huntress. She's a little bit too brutal for Batman standards. Well, that's even hard to say. Batman's pretty brutal himself, but I know he always chastises her for her methods. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.